Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you my designer version of if I were starting all over, what would be the first 10 that I would buy. I can't wait to share with you, but before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button, join the Weird and Wonderful family. If you already are a part of the community, you guys are amazing. You know how awesome you are, and I just really appreciate all of you. And without further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to start by qualifying this saying it's actually kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to narrow down to the first 10 that I would buy. There's usually some that could like they'd be pretty close to tied. The niche one was a lot harder to do because at this point there's so many amazing niche fragrances that I've smelt. One that I forgot to mention that I would definitely be getting as soon as possible is Mango Skin by Wilhelm Perfumery. I just love that fragrance. So that would have probably taken the place of something else. But that was the thing, as I went through it, I'm like, oh, I could have done this one. As I was editing, it was terrible. I could have done this one. I could have done this one. So, but anyway, as far as designer is concerned, these would be the first 10 that I would choose at this point. So if I was starting all over again, or if you are just starting over, these are the fragrances I'd go for. And I'm going to tell you why I would choose them as well. So I'm going to get the most obvious one out of the way. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what that first one would be that I'm like, no, I got to get it? It would be COCO Mademoiselle by Chanel. This fragrance is relaxing for me. It's classy, it's long lasting, high quality. I just find it to be a beautiful fragrance. I love the florals in it, but I love the orange vibe that's in here. Not too sweet, not too citrusy, just perfect. Dries down a little bit more woody vanillic. It's absolutely amazing as far as I'm concerned, especially with the longevity. This would be probably the first one I would go out and buy because really it's just so versatile. So love COCO Mademoiselle. Next one that I would absolutely have to have is La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. I would get the original, not the Le Parfum. This is a juicy, delicious, vanillic kind of spicy pear. To me, it smells like a pear that's been poached in some sort of delicious brandy or something with some spices. I find it flirty. I find it fun. I find it feminine. When I put this one on, I feel pretty. Plus, I just love the bottle. I love the bottle. And not to be weird, but I really love the bum. Like, she's got the perfect pert little bum. Like, look at that little bum. It's just perfect. So I never knew I loved the bum as much as I do. The arch in the back, like I just freaking love this bottle. Anyway, love this fragrance. Always feel good when I wear this fragrance. I guess that's the thing about all of these. I feel good when I put them on. Next fragrance that I just couldn't be without is Terracotta by GUERLAIN. It's a glorious, ritzy, posh vacation somewhere in France or Europe. This one is just, it's so good. It works perfect for summer. I love this fragrance. To me, it smells like a rich heiress that's just found her soulmate. It gives me a whole vibe. It's very relaxing. It smells like that typical kind of beachy feel. There's tiare flower in here, coconut. It's relaxing. It's light, even though it's like kind of a little bit ambery. Somehow it just works perfect in the heat. It projects beautifully, wears beautifully. Like I get 5-6 hours out of this. So it was a go-to last summer for sure. I just adore this, have to have it. And it's reasonable. Like I think it's $105 at Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada. So if you've got, if you go on the 20% off day and you have someone that's a senior that can get you the 20% off deal, this ends up being a very affordable summer fragrance. So absolutely adore this. I'm just so sorry that people in the States can't seem to get their hands on it. It's readily available in Canada, and I believe it's readily available in Europe as well, but yeah, love it. Next fragrance I would purchase. I don't have it in my collection, but I definitely would want it. It would be one of the first I'd buy, and that is Because It's You by Giorgio Armani. Now this is a syrupy, raspberry fragrance. It actually would probably work better for fall and winter. That said, I would likely wear this for a summer date night fragrance. I find it really sexy. I love the raspberry in it. It's kind of almost like a raspberry liqueur or a raspberry syrup. It's a little boozy to me somehow. I just think it's very sexy, sultry, but still gives me that raspberry, which I'm a huge fan of. Next fragrance, honestly, I would consider this to be in a masterpiece category because to me, it's such a high quality fragrance, lasts forever on the skin, and it smells a little bit more niche. So it's just a little bit different in my opinion, and that is Angel Muse EDP. So I love the EDT, but I would go with the EDP. It's spicy, it's patchouli, there's hazelnut, there's cacao in here. Some people think it smells like straight up Nutella. For me, it's definitely got way more patchouli than than Nutella has. So there's a bit of sexiness, spiciness, but I also find it very relaxing and grounding. So I love wearing this one. It's a powerhouse, gonna last 12 hours on the skin. You don't need much. Like I only spray 1 or 2 sprays, otherwise it gets overpowering. So this is an absolute work of art in my opinion. I love it more and more. The more I have it, the more I wear it, the more I love it. Now next, I would have to have some sort of OLYMPEA fragrance. I don't know why, but that whole line somehow has my heart. I haven't smelt one that I didn't like yet, but the one that I would want to get currently is OLYMPEA Blossom. I think that there's like a creamsicle note or something like that, or a sorbet type note in there, and it's just delicious. So you still have the DNA of the original OLYMPEA, but the salt, I don't even know if there's salt in this one. It's juicy, it's sweet, it's fun, it's playful, it's perfect for the summertime. So Blossom would definitely be the first OLYMPEA that I would purchase. Next, I would choose COCO Noir. Now, COCO Noir by Chanel. Now, this is another one that I don't have in my collection, but I just find it so sophisticated. I find it so kind of regal. It smells luxe, it smells posh. It smells rather old school. It smells like a woman that wears a fur coat, probably smokes a little too much, drinks maybe a little too much wine, and laughs like Cruella de Vil. Like that kind of fragrance. It kind of gives me the villain vibe, but I love it. Like it is a femme fatale fragrance, and I would have to have it. It's the femme fatale where she runs a huge corporation and she has no love for humanity. I don't know. It's just a vibe. I'm into it. It's very sexy, a little bit spicy, a little bit old school / mature, but I love it. And I really love, I really love a lot of Chanel fragrances. But yeah, that one, for whatever reason, I've wanted it for a long time. And I just think it would make such a beautiful evening fragrance, but it's got the quality that I'm looking for in a designer fragrance. One more Chanel for you, and it would definitely be in my top 10 to purchase first, and that is Chanel Chanso Fresh. Now this is completely different than the other two. This one's a lot lighter, brighter green. It's very green. It's got some woodiness in there, still very classy, very refreshing. Love the green component in it. Love the color of the juice. It's gorgeous. It's definitely longer lasting than a lot of green fragrances. I find green fragrances to be quite short-lived. So that one is just beautiful to me. I find it very relaxing to wear. Perfect again for the summer. My guess is this is leaning a little bit summer-esque. We're in the warmer weather now, so maybe this list would look different if I was buying these in the fall. But for now, these would definitely be the designers I'd be going for. The next fragrance that I would have to have is FLOWERBOMB Nectar. I am in love with it. FLOWERBOMB DNA, I like it, but I don't love it. But the FLOWERBOMB Nectar, it's just got some sort of juicy factor in there that's even more amazing than the original. I like it better than FLOWERBOMB Midnight. I wished I would have gotten Nectar instead of Midnight, because Midnight is just not, like, it's okay, but it's not really doing it for me. But the Nectar, it's so good. It's so juicy. It goes a little bit vanilla powder in the end on me. There's gunpowder in it, which is kind of unique. I don't know. I just find it so addictive. So it's great for a date night or when you want to smell a little bit saucy. I would pull up FLOWERBOMB Nectar for sure. Number 10, I've got one more. I couldn't just leave it at 10. So last one on my top 10 would be Le Nuit Trésor Nude. So this fragrance, again, I couldn't wait to pull it out for the warmer weather because I'm so in love with this. So somehow it preserves the Le Nuit Trésor DNA. So I get that vibe in it, but it's so pared down. It's basically a coconut vanilla fragrance. Coconut vanilla with a little bit, I think, of bergamot or something like that in the opening. It pairs very beautifully with peach fragrances. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's very feminine, but it's somehow elegant. So where coconut fragrances can sometimes go like sunscreeny, beachy vibe, this is elegant wedding vibe, but you smell like a vanilla coconut. It's so scrumptious. So really enjoy this. I find it very feminine. I find it classy. I find it put together, even though it's not like a typical floral. It's just absolutely perfect. Like, this is a perfect fragrance to me. So I can't be without this one. I think it's discontinued. I need to buy a big one because I absolutely, I'd feel so sad if I didn't ever have this again once this one's used up. So this would be definitely one of the first ones I'd buy. And the last one I want to share with you, so technically I'm cheating because I'm putting an 11 in there, but Hermes Rhubarbe Décolleté or something like that, the rhubarb one, I am in love with it. So it's just kind of a fresh rhubarb, kind of tart, really refreshing. That would be one of the, after the 10, that would be the next one I would buy because I really love that one. Out of all of these, what would be the top 3, like the first 3 that I would purchase? Honestly, if I had to purchase 3, I would purchase COCO Mademoiselle. This is a perfect everyday fragrance. I would pick up Angel Muse EDP because this is just sweet, sultry, sexy, but somehow grounding and relaxing. And I would pick up Le Nuit Trésor Nude. This one is, again, like very elegant, very put together, somehow sophisticated. You can wear this every day if you wanted, but it's a little sweeter, a little more gourmand. So these would be the 3 that I would first purchase if I was starting all over. But it's hard to choose because they're all amazing. What about you? If you were starting all over, what would be the top 10 designer fragrances you would choose? Please leave it in the comments. If you can't choose 10, choose like 5 or 3 or 2, or what would be the top one? What would be the first one you'd go out and buy? Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.